Yali Mother, to all friends, it is truly our fortunate that not only we have Imam-e-Zaman, the living Imam, the present Imam, but he also blesses us with the Didar, and almost it looks like a daily guidance. The Faramin which he has given us in Texas, in USA, and there are 6 of those Faramin. Today we are reading the third of those Farman. To remember, we have already read the 6th one from the Dallas. How fortunate we are that Imam cares for us, he loves us, and he's guiding us. Even on the smallest thing, which is normally and should be part of our daily ethical life. According to the ethics of Islam and ethics of our faith. On Sirat al-Mustaqim, a mu'min moves forward with confidence when Imam-e-Zaman is standing next to him, guiding him step by step. And with the love, the blessings, Khanavadan, Dua Ashish, and so much affection that he shows to his spiritual children. There is no religion, no tariqah, no jamaat, no group in the world can say that they have a direct descendant, a living Imam guiding them. Let's be shukr guzar for these blessings. And then, whenever we receive the Farman, hold this Farman close to your heart. Read them all. Reflect on them. Ask question. How do I get this Faramin? How do I follow this Faramin? How do I understand this Faramin? There are words which are written. And then there are guidance, which is in between the line. Inshallah, together, we will read this Faramin. We will reflect on it together. We will understand them together. And then we follow them together, one by one, but together. Individually, with our freedom and love of the Imam and his words, the Faramin. Please recite the Holy Salawat. Allahumma salli ala Muhammadin wa ala Muhammad. Farman Mubarak of Mawlana Hazar Imam, Houston, Texas, on November 8th, 2025. This would be the third Farman and the second day of the Didar. My dearest spiritual children, to all my spiritual children, to those physically in front of me, and to those around the world, I give my most affectionate and my best loving blessings. I pray for your spiritual elevation, for your good health, for unity in your families, for unity in your Jamaat, for the safety and security of all my Jamaat, for success in worldly matters, and for Mushkil Asan, Khanavadan, Khanavadan, Khanavadan. I convey special blessings for the eternal rest and peace of the souls of my Rouhani members of my Jamaat. Khanavadan, Khanavadan, Khanavadan. I have accepted the bayah placed by the Mukhi of Houston headquarters Jamaat Khana on your behalf. This bayah reforms the permanent spiritual bond between the Imam of the time and his Jamaat. This is a deeply significant bond, a bond that is made in freedom and love. I care for your safety and security, for your spiritual, material elevation, and for your happiness and well-being. I will always be connected to you through this bayah, and I am always with you. You are always in my heart, Khanavadan. I would like to read this portion again, and that is, this bayah reaffirms. Remember, we take bayah when we are born through using the tongue of our parents and through the witnesses in front of the Mukhi Kamriya. We reaffirm that bayah once we are adult, and each time we enter Jamaat Khana. We reaffirm again each time Imam is in our present or our representative are in the presence of the Imam-e-Zaman, wherever that may take place. They reaffirm the bayah on the behalf of the Jamaat. Question here, and I'm asking this question again, to make sure we are understanding and paying attention on the importance of affirming and reaffirming again and again the bayah between the Imam and the Murid, and why it is so important. This bayah must come from not verbally, but by the heart and by the commitment, by the love of the Imam-e-Zaman from the Murid, each one of us, to the Imam-e-Zaman. We may not be taking this bayah in the presence of the Imam or not verbally in the presence of the Imam, but through our representative. But Imam is giving you freedom to take and accept. What does it mean? Meaning, that you could be sitting there, or you may not be sitting there in the Didar hall or in the front of the Imam, wherever that may take place. You could say, I did not authorize Mukhi Kamriya or our leadership to reaffirm the bayah to the Imam Zaman. And that is your freedom. That is your free will. And you could say that. But not only the freedom of your choice, but the love for the Imam also must be included in this bond. And this is a deeply significant bond between the Imam Zaman and the Murid, the Jamaat. And therefore it must be made in freedom and love. So Imam says, I will always be connected to you through this bayah. Imam will never break his promise because bayah is two-sided. You accept him as your murshid and your Lord, your Imam, and your wali, your master. And if you do that, Imam will accept you as his spiritual children. And now he is responsible for your safety and for your security and for your spiritual elevation and for your worldly elevation and for your happiness and well-being. So Imam says, I will always be connected to you through this bayah. You see that? How significant this bond is. Because this is what connects you and holds you with the Imam Zaman. And therefore, Imam promised to be with you always, and he will keep you always wherever he may be physically. He always be with you spiritually, and he will keep you in his heart with the love that you have presented for him. I have appreciated immensely the warm welcome I have received since my arrival in Texas. I'm very happy that my Jamaat is well settled here and that your contributions to the city, state, and country are recognized and appreciated. In these remarks at the opening of the Smiley Center, Mayor Whitmer expressed deep admiration and respect for our Jamaat. This indicates to me that my Jamaat is making positive contributions to society in Houston and around the country. And this is a source of pride and happiness for me. Imam continues, my dear Jamaat, my United States Jamaat is talented. Some 6 decades ago, members of my Jamaat followed my father's guidance to seek education in this country. 6 decades, that is over half of a century. 60 years. That will take us all the way back to 1965, 66, 67, where initial Ismailis, by the command of the Imam of the time, came to America for the education, and by the guidance of the Imam, they set up initial Jamaat Khanas, maybe temporary at that time, and built small but strong institutions, groups helping each other, friends helping each other, Jamaat helping each other. I would say learn the history of Ismailis in the USA from those who've been around with us for over 50 years in the United States, especially those who are living in Chicago for more than 50, 60 years. Some of them may be in New York, which is our old city, and maybe a couple of more in Florida and Houston. Ask them the history of our arrival in the United States, and they will tell you some great, great murids following the Farman of the Imam settling in the United States. So Mullah says, my United States Jamaat is talented. Some 6 decades ago, members of my Jamaat followed my father's guidance to seek education in this country. You were courageous pioneers, and now your children and grandchildren are innovators, researchers, investors, creatives, careers. As a result of your efforts and the favorable environment in this country, and by Allah's grace, we have members of the US Jamaat who are now at the pinnacle of their fields internationally. Your commitment to excellence across a broad spectrum of endeavors and industries makes me very proud. It is my desire that each one of you is able to rise to your full potential. Amen. Whatever your chosen path, bring our values to the way you work. Work with honesty, integrity, generosity, and kindness. Let your achievement be underpinned by our values. It's very important. It doesn't matter what we do. It could be a professional job, legal job, political job, businesses. And there are all sorts of businesses held by Ismailis in the United States. It could be a work, a labor job. It doesn't matter. Small or large. You are part of the Jamaat and you are valuable resources for the Jamaat, your family, and your friend. So whatever you do, you must do it with honesty. It is very important that you give your 100% according to the value of our ethics, of Islam and our faith. My dearest Jamaat, let me go back for 1 second. As I said in the beginning, Imam is guiding us in the smallest thing. Does Imam al-Zaman need to tell us that? That we need to be honest? We need to be ethical? Or our morale should be high? No, he should not have to tell us that. But Imam guides. He sees that my Jamaat needs help sometime. And we truly believe that we are Garib and Nachis. As human, we forget, we make mistakes, and we need to be reminded. We need to be reminded of this clear guidance, even though very clearly we know and we should know. But Imam, as a father, as a mother, as a guide, he reminds us of these facts. So if we are good, we should come even better. If we are better, we should come even greater than that. So may others take our examples. And not only that, but remember our children are looking at us. Our friends and our Jamaat, especially the new Jamaat arriving in the United States, they're looking at you who've been living in the States for a long time. If you set a good example, then they will follow that. But if unfortunately you are setting up a bad example, they will feel that that is the norm and that is how it should be, and they will follow on that, and that would not make our Imam happy. So let's go forward. Imam says, my dearest Jamaat, in my Farman yesterday, I reminded my Jamaat that the purpose of wealth is to help improve the lives of others, to share your generous resources and your time, your knowledge. Making money is good, but making money to collect the money for the sake of greed and show off is not acceptable to the Imam Zaman, because wealth should be to help improve the lives of others. And you will see further down, Imam talks about, of course, your family comes first, your friend comes first, your Jamaat comes first, and then your community. And then others, wherever you are coming from. Don't forget where you have come from. Don't forget those countries. And don't forget those Jamaat. And don't forget your family which you left behind. They may be needing a helping hand. So when you are successful, when you have spare wealth, then make sure you remember them and you help them. As you move forward, make sure they are walking with you and not left behind. Imam says, today I said to my Jamaat, Mubarak. You know this word Mubarak, the word blessings, good tidings. This Mubarak word has grace. The mercy of the Imam is not congratulations, but more like a prayer for the Jamaat from the Imam. The word comes from barakat. And when this word is used by the Imam for the Jamaat, our answer would be Ameen. Then blessings of the Imam, the barakat of the Imam be upon us, on all our beings, all our levels. So Imam says, Mubarak, Ameen, Ameen Mola. I have observed with admiration the generosity of my US Jamaat. For decades, you have constantly and generously helped to build and strengthen our institutions. Institutions which express a commitment to dignity and the common humanity. The impact of your generosity has positively altered the trajectory of many, many lives. Many lives, benefiting the Jamaat and the communities and countries in which we live. This will endure for generations, and for this I am deeply grateful. And we should also be grateful for everything we have been blessed in the form of the guidance, form of the barakat, the mercy, dua ashish of the Imam Zaman. So we are deeply grateful to the Imam Zaman for his loving guidance for our Jamaat, not only living in the United States, but all over the world. Now, whether your generosity is supported of an Imam institution or any other organization which is doing good work, in my eyes, these are the same. All giving is an act of faith. All giving is of spiritual benefit. So continue to be generous. Here, I like to point out how Imam is changing our narrow view to a broader, wider view. For a long time, we were taught that only and only support Imamat and his institution. That was great because our institution was just beginning. They were not that strong and needed the support of the Jamaat and their generosity. But now our institutions are strong. So Imam is guiding us to widen our view. At one time, few years back, we started to count how many different private, individual institutions, organizations, non-profits, not governmental, but started by the Smileys in the United States. So we started with one state, Georgia, and we found over a dozen. And this is how many we found. And I'm sure there were other dozen that we could not find. They were working quietly. That they were working side by side by our institution, but privately, individually, bringing their own funds to help the Jamaat and the community. Then we looked at Texas and we found few dozens in Houston, in Dallas, in San Antonio, in Austin. And we don't know how many more dozen are present in other areas of Texas or in the region that falls under Texas. I would not be surprised if there were over 100 individual institution and organization working independently and alongside the institution, helping the Jamaat and the communities. So what is Imam telling us now? It is okay. You can help the Imami institution, or you can offer your generosity, your help to the private other organization which are working for good. But it must be, don't throw your money for the sake of helping. Check and balance. Check and see what they are doing. Ask question. And once you are satisfied with their work, if this is the line of work you like to help them. Remember, they are working independently and along the side of institution. Togetherly, privately, and Imamat institution can bring the Jamaat out of the poverty all over the world. Because you need this partnership. And Imam is encouraging the Jamaat. Wherever you wanted to show your generosity, give. Give, because giving is an act of faith. And give in the love of Allah, because it holds a spiritual benefit. So continue to be generous. It doesn't matter if you are giving $20 a month, or $100 a month, or $1,000 a month, or $1 million. It doesn't matter. As long as you are being generous and giving something, because every drop matters. Be generous in your local context, as you are generous with global institutions. Forge links within your local communities and contribute to your resources to strengthen community relationships and institutions. See, now we are not only talking about Imam institution, our Ismaili independent institution, but also within your community. Just be generous in giving. You may have knowledge, you may have a time, you may have a wealth to offer. Offer something and help others. I was delighted to have met members of my Jamaat who are active in civic life. They are part of the fabric of their local communities. Everyone benefits when civic institutions are strong and function well. And our Jamaat can contribute to this. Your service is invaluable within the Jamaat, but also outside it. Share your time, the skills and knowledge widely. Those who give generously of themselves and their resources deserve our highest admiration. Subhanallah, subhanallah. I believe we should stop here. There can be more to be said, but I believe we can continue tomorrow. Inshallah, we will finish this Farman tomorrow and we will reflect on it. If you do not have this Farman in writing, Have it in your writing. Print it out. Keep it in your home. Read. Read every day. Read a page. Read entire Farman. Reflect on it. Discuss with your children and your family. So we may together follow the Farman of the Imam Zaman. With that, I will stop here.